Millions of people now know who you are, and recognizing you wherever you go, and creating a fan base and having a following, and people who are engaged in what you're doing. It's a lot of life-changing aspects that you don't always know how to handle. You're not always prepared for, and it started when I was 17 years old. All of that process. And a lot of people were saying, wow, you must have the life. You must be on cloud nine now. It's kind of weird how many people use that phrase. I've never heard it so much. People were saying, you must be in cloud nine now. Because look at all these people, they know who you are. They sing your songs. They say that they love you. They're screaming for you and things like that. And you must be the happiest you've ever been. And I try to convince myself that, okay, I guess they have a point. I'm trying to convince myself what they were telling me was going to bring me happiness was going to bring me happiness. But I was figuring out pretty quick that that wasn't the case. That, it is amazing to share, but when you focus on how much attention you have and depend on how much other people like you and are watching you, relying on that for your happiness, it starts getting a little shaky. You start kind of losing a little sense of who you are because you're so dependent on what other people think of you and how much they like you. It goes up and down. And it's kind of like having a lot of chocolate cake. If you have a lot, it tastes really good, right? And it's like you get the sugar rush, but after a while you start getting the sugar crash if you have too much. And you think, oh, well, then I should eat more because it helped me feel good the first bite, so I just need to eat the rest of the cake. But you find out pretty quick that just gets you sick. And that's kind of how I kind of describe, the bug of fame and popularity and those kinds of things. Everyone was telling me, this is what will make you happy. I was looking at my peers who were also performers I was on the stage with, and they were feeling empty. I'm like, why are we starting to get depressed here? We're getting depressed and feeling empty and stuff. And I'd see a lot of my peers, they'd turn to drugs. They'd turn to girls. They try to fill this space up with something because it was supposed to be filled, but it wasn't. So it's like, let's try and fill it then. And so I figured out pretty quick, okay, then what do I need to be happy? And I took a 2-year break from music and from my career to be a missionary for my church. And thank you. I was in South America, Chile, for 2 years, and a lot of people wondered, where'd you go? What happened to you? Well, that's where I was. I was a missionary in Chile for 2 years, and I felt like that was time for me to kind of find myself again. There are a lot of voices telling me what to do, who I should be, and how to be happy. And they all were so conflicting. That time away, I call it my father and son time. With my father in heaven and son, it is like, sometimes you need that time, and it would really open my eyes. And so a lot of these songs from this new album come from this new perspective that I'm going to be sharing with you all. But so I tell that because Spotlight Down, I realized it wasn't about having the spotlight on me. Because when I stepped away from the spotlight, which a lot of people said, that's the stupidest thing. What are you doing? Do you realize you're in a career that you need momentum? If you don't keep your face out there and people watching you and doing what you need to keep them watching, you can say goodbye to everything you've worked for and everything that we've worked for to help you get to where you are. And that was a scary thing. I'm like, oh, should I go? Man, if it's that bad. But something in my heart was saying, you need to go. And it was that same thing that talked to my heart to tell me to go. It was the same one that told me to go and audition for that reality TV show, even though I didn't understand it. And I can tell you both times paid off. Both times. Each time that still small voice speaks to your heart, it pays off. So when I came back from my mission, I was like, okay, do I go back to where I was just because that's what's expected of me, or do I need to apply what I've learned? It's not about the spotlight on. But I needed to remind myself why I liked music in the first place. It wasn't because everyone was watching me. I had to remember when I was 9 or 10 years old why I liked singing then. It wasn't because anyone was watching, it was because no one was watching. Except when I would go in the backyard and the neighborhood dogs were there, and they were barking up a storm when I'd start singing. But I just look up at the sky, I was there by myself, and when I'd look up, suddenly I just had this feeling overcome me, and it's like, I need to sing. And I just started singing. And suddenly I felt like little me, 9 or 10-year-old David, had a place in this world, that I belonged. Even though this world was huge and the universe was vast, I felt like I had a place. And I was like, you know what, I need to remember that's why I started singing. And I need to bring that with me moving forward. So that's what I'm trying to do. Thank you. So, it's that song, Spotlight Down. It's, I guess, well, that was a long story. It's long story short. Long story. But anyway, the next song I'd like to sing is about trust. That's one of the things that's been hard for me. I told y'all, a lot of people said, "What are you doing? Are you an idiot?" I got called all kinds of names for making that decision. But like I said, I was learning how to trust in the man upstairs and in his plan that he had for me, and that he trusted me. I think that was the hardest thing to understand. How could someone trust me? I'm my own worst enemy here. I've got all these thoughts that I'm fighting with, feeling like I'm not enough, don't know how to make decisions. I'm a very indecisive person. But yet, I was learning that he trusted me. And if he could trust in me, then that could give me a little bit more of hope to keep moving forward. And whatever the future had in store, even though I didn't know if I would know exactly how to handle it, that I could get through it. And so that's what this song is about, and it's called I'm Ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for a change. I'm not afraid to lose and leave it all behind. And I know that I can't see around the bend, but if I let you in, I know I'll be alright. Oh, I'll keep going and going. Even if they all stop, I keep going. Doesn't matter who's watching or not. Either way, I'll give it all I've got. 'Cause I only got one left to live. Yeah, I only got one left to give. And I know it's gonna change the ending. So I'm ready. I'm ready for a change. I'm not afraid to lose and leave it all behind. And I know that I can't see around the bend, but if I let you in, I know I'll be alright. Been thinking about getting up the road, been thinking about the doors I've closed, but I know you left one open when my heart was feeling broken. There's a name you can only breathe, there's a love you can never see, and I know it's gonna change the ending. So I'm ready.